Okay, I think we are live on both YouTube and Instagram. Fab. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another Friday lunchtime live with Target Transfers. Andy is not here this week. He is off on holiday. So it's just myself and Beth behind the camera who is going to be calling out any questions that you guys have along the way. So comment below where you're watching from, how long you've been heat printing, your company name, anything like that, just to let us know that you're here and watching live with us. If you do have any questions along the way, just comment them below and Beth will shout them at me as we go. But today's live is centered all around heat printing accessories. Now, one of the big focuses for 2023 is making sure that everything that you do in your heat printing workshop, in your production space, is as efficient as it can be. We want to make sure that you're getting all of those time savings that your heat printing equipment can provide you with. And we also want to make sure that you're getting all of those little incremental gains anywhere possible to really maximize not only time but money this year. If you can save time in your production process, then you can in turn make more money because you can turn more garments around. And we want to make sure that while we're doing all of this, we're not compromising on quality and obviously longevity of your heat printed garment. So we've got a lot of accessories to cover today. I'm going to do my best to work through as many as I can. So I think we should just jump straight in. Obviously, those of you who already know of Target Transfers will know that we are the UK home of Hotronics. So they are the world's leading heat presses, manufactured in America, and they get shipped straight to us and then straight to you guys. But they also manufacture a lot of these accessories. So it just makes it so much easier that you can have things like additional platens and stands and things for your heat press that work just hand in hand and make your production process a lot quicker and a lot easier. So I think we're going to just get started with the first one. How are we doing, Beth?
Yeah, we've got a lot of people with us this week, Molly. We've got, we know Phil, don't we? We know Phil from
yes, we do.
North.
Hi, Phil. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
We've got Anne-Marie in Northampton. Her clothing collection is 15 years old, which is amazing.
Wow, that's good going.
Yeah, and I'm recognising Customised for You, again, who was with us on Tuesday for the Ultra Colour Max relaunch.
We have, so this is our second live this week. We've started 2023 with a bang. So as you guys know, we normally just do lives on Friday. We have our 2-Minute Tuesday series that comes out on Tuesday. We do podcast releases on a Thursday. So there's a lot going on in the Target Transfers content space. But this week we have done 2 lives because on Tuesday we have the very exciting announcement of the Ultra Colour Max DTF relaunch. So just to recap that for anybody that missed the live or hasn't seen one of our million social posts or emails that have gone out over the last few days, we relaunched Ultra Colour Max direct-to-film heat transfers so that you can order any size, no minimums. So that's a real game changer for anybody that works with heat transfers, to be able to order one 6x6 if you wanted to. Like, that's just ridiculous. So that is now possible on EasyView, our online ordering system. The other thing that we've changed is our turnaround time. So for DTF transfers, if you order by midnight, you can have them shipped or be ready to be collected from the next day. So we have it could be less than a 24-hour turnaround depending on what time you order them. So that's phenomenal. And obviously our gang sheets are still available at no extra cost. So it doesn't cost you anything extra. But it does mean that you can get more than 10 or 20 designs per sheet, reducing your cost per transfer and increasing the amount of profit you can make per sheet. So just a little recap on our Ultra Colour Max launch.
Anne-Marie's actually just clarified it's her son who is 15 years old and he has a garment printing business, which is really impressive. That's really impressive.
That is very impressive. And it just proves that anyone can get started. Anne-Marie, comment below and tell us sort of what garments you print on, what your most sort of common product is. We'd love to know that. Is it T-shirts? Is it sweatshirts? Have you dabbled in levers hoodies? That might be something you could do this year. Do we have any other comments on anything? Anyone on YouTube coming in? Or?
Everyone seems excited. Everyone just wants to know what we're going to be demoing today.
Okay, let's get started. I've been blabbing for long enough. So Which one should we start with today? Let's do quick slips. So this is probably one of the most popular products in terms of our heat press accessories because they're just such an essential. I cannot remember the last time somebody bought a heat press and didn't buy one of these quick slips to go with it. So essentially, a quick slip protector, I think I have one free here actually, is just a sheet or a cover for your lower heat press platen. Now, as you can see here, it's stretchy on the corners. This is obviously a 40 by 50 sized one, just so I can get close up for both cameras there. Can everybody see that? Lovely. But we've got one on one of the platens here to show you. So the reason that you would use a quick slip is because the actual heat press platen itself is a little bit, it's made of sort of, it's not Teflon, what would you say? It's kind of like the Print Perfect pad material. It's a bit stickier than you would like it to be with a quick slip. So essentially by using this cover, not only are you protecting your lower heat press platen from things like excess fluff from the garment, any adhesive or dye from the transfer, anything like that that could come off of the garments you decorate, especially if you're doing high volume prints. This protects that. So you can see on the bottom of this quick slip, actually, there's fluff all over it from previous garments. But by putting one of these on, not only does it protect your platen, meaning that you have to replace them less often, saving you money in turn, it actually makes it a lot easier to apply garments to the platen. So this saves so much time day to day in the workshop. So you can just literally put your t-shirt to the edge and slide it on really, really smoothly. And not only does it make it easier for you to put your t-shirt on, you can be a bit more accurate with it as well and avoid stretching your garment. If there wasn't a quick slip on here, you might have to sort of pull the garment a bit to get it into place, or, you know, it might take you a bit longer to get it perfect. So this saves around 11 seconds per t-shirt, which can really add up to like between like 20 and 30 days a year, depending on how many t-shirts you print each day. So that is a real benefit of that. And they do come in multiple sizes as well. So obviously we have the 40 by 50s, 40 by 40s, and for all of the different size platens as well. So that is the first one I wanted to cover. Really quick, really simple hack. It's not overly complicated, but like I say, majority of people that have Hotronix heat presses have the quick slips to go with them because they just make life so much easier. And there isn't really a reason to not have them, to be honest. So head online and pick yourself up one of those if you haven't got one already. Do we have any questions on quick slips?
Well, Anne-Marie's actually followed up and just let us know that her son is actually printing t-shirts, and they order their gang sheets from us for their t-shirts.
Okay.
Which is really cool. So everyone else who's just tuned in, feel free to let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what type of garments you're heat printing, what size transfers you're using. And we've had a question come in and they just want a recap on how much the quick slips cost.
Okay, no problem. So we have multiple sizes, like I said, but they start from £40. So if you just go onto our website, targettransfers.com, and search for quick slips in the search bar, you can select your size and it will let you know how much they are. But yeah, from £40 is the starting price for these. So no brainer really when you think about how much time they're going to save you.
We've just had another question come in on Instagram. Well, first of all, Phil has said that the slips are great and he does use them.
There we go.
Phil.
Customer testimonial right there.
Personalised Printwear is asking for some advice to prevent scorch marks.
Okay, that leads me into our next accessory. Perfect timing there. Where is it? Here it is. We have a lot of accessories on this side table. So there's a couple of things you can do to prevent scorch marks. The first thing I would suggest would be to think about the type of material. If you could comment below what material you're trying to fuse onto, and what transfer you're using as well. Are you using a screen print? Are you using DTF? Are you using ultra color? Just let us know and we can help you troubleshoot that. But the first step would be to get yourself one of these. This is a Grip Flex pad. Now, the reason that this helps prevent scorch marks is because it's a thicker version of release paper. So when you're fusing your transfer, you just lay the Grip Flex over the top and it creates more of a protective layer over your t-shirt. So basically more of the heat is sort of protected against the shirt. We've seen a lot of people have success with these. It's our go-to when we've got more heat sensitive garments. So this would be my first suggestion when it comes to scorch marks. Do we have a follow-up on that one, or?
We don't have a follow-up.
Okay, cool. So that's option one. If you're still struggling, I would recommend potentially looking at using ultracolor heat transfers for this, again, depending on the material and the type of design that you're having. But ultracolor fuses at just 120 degrees, whereas screen is 160. So it could be worth dabbling with an ultracolor transfer because the fuse settings is that much lower, the temperature, sorry. So it just gives you that bit of wiggle room to reduce the fuse temperature for your more heat sensitive fabrics. Another option, which I don't actually have one to hand because I wasn't going to mention them today, but you can always look at power platens if you get to the point where you actually really need something to help further. So power platens are essentially the same as our lower platens here that you can get to swap in and out of your heat presses. Thank you very much. So all you do is put this onto the bottom of your heat press. You plug it in to the power bank, which you can get separately. And this sits on the heat press just like any other lower platen would, but it heats. So you can apply heat from underneath of the garment. So it means that you can reduce the temperature on the top of your platen, which will reduce the visible scorch marks, if any will appear at all. Another thing to think about as well is that if there are any scorch marks with using these, they'll come from the bottom of the garment because obviously majority of the heat is coming from the power platen underneath. So there are multiple ways that we can help you with that. So if you are struggling, do get in touch with our customer service team. They are brilliant and they have lots of solutions for you, including these. But yeah, Beth, can I give this back to you because I do not have any space to put this over here anymore. Thank you.
Polyester printwear has followed up and said that, sorry, not polyester printwear, personalised printwear, they use polyester materials in particular,
okay.
and they thank you for your advice.
Okay, so with polyester, Andy and I have actually done a 2-minute Tuesday on this, and I believe it's called something about using DTF on sportswear. But if you go to YouTube and just type in sportswear, we fuse an Ultracolor Max DTF heat transfer onto 100% polyester top from Just Cool. So check that out. And if you are still struggling, then I would either say, yeah, switch to Ultracolor, give GripFlex a try, and give one of our customer service teams or key accounts, depending on who looks after you here, and they'll be able to help you.
We've got some great questions coming in, Molly.
Go for it.
So Kits Patel is planning to make small slogan prints, pocket prints for garments and T-shirts, and asks, can you use an iron instead of a heat press for the transfers?
Okay, so there's technically you can use an iron to apply heat transfers, but we don't recommend it. The reason being the longevity of the transfer. So the reason Hotronics presses are so brilliant is because they control your time, your temperature, and your pressure accurately, 100% perfect. If you're using an iron, you cannot guarantee these three things. So especially when it comes to pressure. So your pressure behind an iron is your body weight rather than the regulated pressure within an advanced heat press like this. So the issues that come with using an iron is the fact that even though it might apply okay to begin with, and there are some sort of handheld presses out there which we've had people use and come to us with before, and they go, oh, but it's fine when it first fuses, but that's okay. But what happens after 2, 3, 10, 20 washes? Your customer is going to have a design on a T-shirt or a pocket or whatever you're fusing onto that will come off eventually, but they probably won't tell you that, and it will just defeat the purpose of them ordering in the future. So in short, technically you can, but we do not recommend it. We do have options if you want to look at doing pocket prints. So if you're fusing onto a smaller print area, such as a pocket, you're going to want to isolate the area that you're applying to. There are a few different ways you can do that. You can either use a different sized lower heat press platen, which we'll cover in a minute, or we've got the new Print Perfect pads, which might be of use as well. So we'll cover those in a bit, so stay tuned for that. But I hope that makes sense. We have got a blog post available on our website which covers irons versus heat presses. So if you go online and search for that, it explains in detail all about time, temperature and pressure and things like that. Actually, if we make a note, we can pop the link in the comments of this video once we're done.
Sabrina has a question and wants to know how you align your transfers straight.
Oh, that's a very good question. So there is a tool somewhere in this room. Basically, we have a laser. No, that's not what I was saying. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We have a laser alignment system. So 90% of the time when you are using platens and things, it's pretty easy to get it straight because you load your t-shirt onto the platen, you pull the neck off so that the seams are not on the platen for accurate pressure. And then we normally go between 3 or 4 fingers down from the neckline for a front print. You can also line your left chest with sort of the seam on the neckline and the middle of the sleeve as well. So there are a few hacks to use for things like that. But if you are really struggling, we do offer a laser alignment system and it's portable as well. So you can just plop it next to your heat press, adjust the lasers and they create like a line on your shirt. So providing you put the shirt in the same place every time, which is easy with our sort of our heat press platens and quick slips, you can just place the transfer in the same place every single time.
Yep, just one last comment for now from Phil. He said that I love your gang sheets and I always fill the space. I print on t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tracksuits, polo shirts, baseball caps, go on and on, Phil. And he uses Rallowise.
Perfect. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, there are so many different types of garments and products that you can print on and create for your customers. The list really is endless. So don't be shy to, expand your product ranges this year. We can help you with application on different things if you need it. We've done one on school bags recently. We've done polo shirts. We did workwear, sports garments, basic tees, hoodies, anything, you name it. Just get in touch and we can help you with that.
Yep, we'll just say hello to our brand new watchers and make sure you say hello and let us know where you are watching from.
Yes, let us know. I'm going to move on to another one. Let's go for platens, seeing as this is kind of relevant to the question we had about the pocket prints. So there are multiple different heat press platens that you can get. So as you can see here, I've got 2 different heat presses. I've got the 40 by 50, and I believe this is the 28 by 38. This is the smallest one. The platens come out. So as you can see here, we have an interchangeable platen where you can literally just pull this platen out of the press and plop another one in. It makes it so much easier to isolate the print area. So what we were saying before about making sure that no seams or zips or pockets are on the actual platen when you're fusing your transfer, because this interferes with the pressure. Now, by using different platens, you can make sure to isolate those areas to get a perfect fuse. So you can see we have so many, we've got over, I think it's like 14 different platens. So we've got the 10 by 10 here, which a lot of people love for either left chest prints or neck labels. And then we've got the 18 centimeter round, which we've used for bags a lot recently. But the trend of bucket hats has seen a bit of a love for this one, which is funny, but very productive. So that is lower platens. And as you can see for this one, this is the 20 by 25 centimeter platen. And this has a quick slip on it. So what I was saying before about having multiple different size platens, we've also got the quick slips to go with it. So regardless of what size you need or what heat press you've got, we have one to suit you. I just want to mention as well, while we're on the topic of platens, we have had a few questions on our socials recently about which platens fit which presses. Now, obviously, all of our Hotronix heat presses, so the Max, the Auto and the Fusions, they all have interchangeable platens. So you just pull the lever, pop it off and swap the new one over. The thing to keep in mind is that your upper platen of your heat press will not get any bigger. So if you've only got the 28 by 38, for example, a larger platen will fit on the press, but the heating element won't cover the whole thing. So most people, for this reason, go for the 40 by 50, which is the bigger version I have here, so that they can put smaller platens on and still have the heated area covering the whole thing. So you always want to make sure that your platen fits either the same as your top heated platen or smaller, if that makes sense for everybody. Do we have any more?
Yep, we do have a question. Somebody would like to know how much the laser alignment actually costs.
Laser alignment is £330 on the website. and they are available for next day delivery.
We've got a couple of people with us watching from London. So hello to DJ Simple Simon. And Sabrina is also watching from London.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, we'll go all over the UK today. Right, let's move on to, let's talk about our new accessory, shall we? This is an exciting one that we've actually launched last week. So we've had a lot going on this year. There's been a fair few product releases. So these are Print Perfect pads. Now, for anybody that hasn't seen the live that did we do a live for these? We've done videos on them.
We've done a
We've
lot of videos
them.
recently.
We've showed them a lot. I think I did a fuse along with them last week.
Yes.
There's been a lot going on with these. But basically, these Print Perfect pads are new from Styles Hottronics, and they allow you to fuse onto different areas of your garment. So a similar use as the lower platens for your heat press, but instead of so you might be used to the pillows or the heat printing pillows that we've got already. Now, the Print Perfect pads, instead of allowing the zips and the seams to press into the pillow, these Print Perfect pads actually raise the print area of the garment you're fusing onto. So I'll give you a demonstration just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to thread my t-shirt onto my heat press. Now, let's imagine there was a pocket here on the heat press and we wanted to fuse onto it, but we didn't want to fuse onto the pocket. Now, the seams on a pocket would, as I've said before, interfere with the pressure of the fuse. So what you would do is take your Print Perfect pad, insert it into the t-shirt and place it so that you can see here there is a raise on the actual t-shirt itself. So when you put your transfer on and lower your press, it's only going to be heat applying to this area, not the whole thing, because it's raised up the area you're fusing onto. Don't forget to adjust the pressure of your heat press because you are lifting the fuse area, which means that if you try and pull this down, it's set to the pressure of the bottom platen. And because these are quite a bit thicker and they don't compress, they stay as they are, you need to make sure that the pressure is set to this level, not to this level. But they come in 3 or 4 different sizes, I believe three sizes. Here we are. So we have this one, which is good for sort of left chests, or you could probably even do neck labels with this one, to be fair. We've got a leg sleeve version, which we've actually got a video coming out this week, I believe. It's this week's 2 Minute Tuesday Print Perfect pads, so keep an eye out for that. And then we've got your standard, slightly bigger if you're doing like a front print. You could use this one for like hoodies. If you've got hoodies with like front pockets on them and you wanted to isolate that area, that would be quite good. If you're wearing hoodies with zips like I am now, you could use it to isolate sort of the left chest area. So anything like that that's got sort of, you know, zipped pocket seams, anything that would interfere with pressure. Print Perfect pads are a great alternative. They can be used with any heat press as well. So our interchangeable platens only work with our Hottronics heat presses, obviously, because Hottronics make all of them. So once you've got your Hottronics press, all of the platens work perfectly fine. But if you either you're not ready for the platen, or your heat press isn't Hottronics, which if it's not, then it definitely should be, then you can use the Print Perfect pads for any of those. So it's a sort of bit more of a budget-friendly alternative to isolating print areas, really.
We have had a question come in.
Go for it.
Do we offer anything for sublimation?
Can you be more specific on that? I mean, sublimation isn't really our area of expertise in terms of the products we offer. We do have some of our customers using our heat presses for sublimation, but if you could either be a bit more specific with that or give our customer service team a phone call or an email, give them all the details of what you're trying to do, and they can get back to you with some more information. But if your question is, can you use our heat presses for sublimated garments? The answer is yes, we have had people do that before. So yeah, just pop our team a call or an email and they'll be able to expand on that one for you.
Yeah, we've had a question come in. How much do the Print Perfect pads cost?
So the Print Perfect pads are from £40. So as I said, there's three different sizes available, and from 40 on the website.
Brilliant. We've got some new joiners, so we'll just say hello again. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you heat print, what garments you're using, what transfers. And yeah, let's carry on, Molly.
Yeah, okay. Right, let's go for threadability next. So far we've covered the, oh, bit of static on that, the quick slip platen protectors. So this obviously helps protect your lower heat press and makes it quicker and easier to slide garments on and off. We've covered lower heat press platens and print perfect pads for isolating print areas and maintaining accurate pressure. We have covered the grip flex pad for scorching. Power platens was going to be the next one. Yeah. Now let's move on to threadability. So there's two ways that you can do this. I've got the whole reason that we're stationed here in the Innovation Centre today is so I can talk to you about both the kinds of counter caddy that Hotronix offer for your heat press. So if you are fusing on a fusion heat press, they are threadable anyway. The auto opens and the max clams can be made threadable with counter caddies. Now, majority of people, similarly to the quick slips, majority of people when they order a max clam or an auto open, order either a counter caddy or a caddy stand to go with it. The reason being is because this makes your heat press threadable, which means that when you apply your t-shirt, if I use this one, can everyone see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
So if you apply a t-shirt onto this heat press, you can make sure that the shirt sits fully underneath here. So rather than having to place your garment like that, so you've got two layers on there, it means that you can really isolate just the one layer of t-shirt you want to fuse onto and have the rest of it hanging underneath and out of the way. This is good for pressure. It just makes life so much easier, and it's one of the most important aspects that heat printers should be aware of when it comes to fusing like that. So as I said, there's two options for this. This is the caddy stand. The reason that, I personally prefer this one because there are two reasons. One, not only is it height adjustable, so regardless of who is fusing in your workshop, if you have different team members that are different heights, you want to make sure that the press is set for them so that they're not straining themselves when they're working every day. So this is height adjustable with the little attachment here. And then also it is portable, so it's got 4 wheels on the bottom, which you may or may not be able to see in the video. But it means that you can just loosen off the, what are they called? Like stabilizers, basically, that hold them in place. The locks, that's the word I was looking for. You can just undo the locks on the wheels and you can literally move the press like anywhere without having to heavy lift it because, they're not too heavy, but it's not the lightest thing in the world. Counter caddy does a similar thing. But as you can see, this sits on we've got it on an equipment cart here, which is another heat printing accessory we will get into another day. But this one, it still has the threadability aspect underneath here, but it doesn't have the movability part of it, and it's not height adjustable. So if it's on like an equipment cart like this, then that's fine because the equipment carts move up and down height-wise and they have wheels, so you can move them around. But if it's just sitting on your workbench or a countertop in your workshop, you need to make sure that obviously it's the right height and it's a bit more faffy to get it to the right height. So if your workbench is the right height and this works for you, then fantastic. We have a lot of people using this one and they love it. We also have a lot of people using this one for the reasons I've mentioned, the height adjustable and the wheels on the bottom as well. So these are, as I say, the caddy stand and the counter caddy options that we have for the auto and max presses. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover for threadability. Really? Have we got anyone else joining us? Any more questions?
No, we just, Phil is still with us, which is fabulous. He's just talking about using our ultra colour on his items. And then we've had a few new joiners, so that's brilliant. Say hello, everybody.
Hello. We're talking accessories for anyone that's just joined us. While we're on the topic, let's just quickly go over the equipment cart. I wasn't going to mention this today, but it's kind of relevant with the counter caddies. So the equipment carts are not only great for heat presses, but they're also great as like a side workbench if you need it. Andy and I use it to host our podcast mics. It has a lot of options, but again, it has got the 4 wheels, so you can move it anywhere you like in your workshop. with locks on 2 of them as well. So obviously it doesn't go anywhere once you've set it in place. And it is height adjustable. So you just twizzle, oh, it's here. So you just move this lever here round and round, and it goes up and down. So again, really handy for anybody if you're trying to change like the height of the press for whoever's using it. Yeah, so it's just another great tool. So as you can see, there's plenty of options if you are heat printing and you're looking to, you know, save time and save accuracy. Having threadability on your heat press has saved around 15 seconds per garment. Not only does it make it more accurate, but it is quicker to slide it on and off than it is to have, you know, sponged up space with the t-shirt underneath or fusing onto 2 layers. So that in itself is a worthy reason of getting one.
Yeah, we've had a question come in, Molly. Do you have any accessories for neck labels?
We do. So there are a couple of options for this. You can either have a separate platen, such as the 10 by 10. This has been a popular one for neck labels recently, but I would recommend getting a different platen over this one for neck labels. This platen that we have on here is the tag along. For those of you that haven't seen or heard of it before, which if you've been following us for a while, I find that very hard to believe. But essentially what you can do with this platen is maneuver the neck label. I'll show you actually. So if you take your t-shirt, we've got Bella Canvas ones here, which if I just show everyone, can everyone see the neck label?
Yeah.
You can actually pull these out. So if you're doing neck labels on to your garments, you want to make sure you can completely rebrand them. So if you thread your t-shirt onto the tag along platen, which comes with a quick slip, so that's super handy. Not only is this great for placement because you can see exactly where the neckline should be, all you have to do is pull the neck ever so gently through the gap there, and you can print the neck label at the same time as the full front print. So you can print 2 transfers for the same time as one. As you see, you just pull this down and it will apply the 2 transfers at the same time. So you're, you know, doubling your transfer fuse time with your transfer fuse, in half the time. So that's a really efficient way to do neck labels if you are branding t-shirts for your business. So I'd recommend having a look into the tag along pattern as well.
Yep. Good.
Perfect. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. I just want to jump in before we go with the release paper, which is currently stuck on the table. We've had quite a few questions recently about the cover paper that we use when we're doing our sort of fuses on reels and on stories. And we just use this release paper, which you can buy in packs. So this is A3 and it comes with 50 sheets. So really, really effective and cost-efficient way to do it. And it's basically just a form of like paper. And the reason that you would use one of these is for quite a lot of the transfers that we offer, so screen and ultra color, are a cold peel. So once your press has come up, you need to remove the garment and wait for the transfer to cool before you peel it. Now, if you don't use release paper at all, and the press comes back up, the risk of it taking the carrier sheet of the transfer with it is a possibility, which means that your application isn't 100% accurate to the settings. Release paper just protects, stops this from happening. So you just place it over the top of the transfer before you pull the press down, and it just makes sure that you can then remove the release paper, remove the garment, and then peel your carrier away as and when you're ready. Another reason being is that it just protects the heat press and the garment. So if there's any excess transfer adhesive or anything on the top of your platen, it stops that going from the platen to the shirt. It'll end up on the release paper. It's also good just for error. You know, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and myself and Beth have done it a million times where we place transfers upside down accidentally. So rather than the transfer sticking to the platen, it will stick to the release paper. So just a few different things like that. And for the sake of, I think, what do these cost? Around like £6.50 for 50 sheets, I think it is, of release paper. So a really cost-effective way to sort of prevent those expensive mistakes.
I think as well, Molly, it's worth mentioning that even if the transfer is a hot peel, you want to be able to control your peel, don't you? You want to be able to control
That's a very good
the
point.
whole of your application. So it's best practice to use release paper, regardless of whether it's a hot or a cold peel transfer.
That's a very good point. And like you say, it's best practice. If you're switching between hot and cold peel transfers and you accidentally don't use release paper on the right or wrong one, then that could cause for error as well. So it's just a really simple habit to get into, but it will save you time and money in the long run from, making mistakes and having to throw away garments. So,
oh, we do have one last question from Anne-Marie. Bear with me. If you've made a mistake, is there anything you can use to take the transfer off?
No, we've had this question quite a few times before. There are products out there that you can get that are like vinyl remover or something, but to be honest, no. Our transfers are made to last, so once they're on there, they're on there for good. It depends the mistake you've made. If it's like a tiny corner, you might be able to sort of patch it, or I don't know, fuse it again. But in general, once it's down, it's down. So yeah, just put it to the side and move on to another one.
Brilliant. That's everything for today, Molly.
Yeah. Do we have anything on the other side?
No, I've read you questions from all.
Perfect. Okay, lovely. I think that's everything I wanted to cover today then. So to recap, we've got quick slip platen protectors, absolutely essential for every single heat press. They're available in, I think it's like 10 or 11 different sizes. Check the website for reference on that one. But head online to shop those. We've gone through the threadability options, so the counter caddy and the caddy stand. We've covered the tag-along platen. We've covered the additional lower platens. We've gone through grip flex pads, release paper, print perfect pads, so many things today. So if you've just joined us and you're about to, join as we end, then you can rewatch this on our Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. And make sure you head online and subscribe to our YouTube channel for a lot more videos that will be coming your way. We also have a newsletter that we send out every week to all of our subscribers, which just lets everyone know about different events we have going on, product updates. So for example, when the new Print Perfect pads came out, our email list was the first to know. Same with our Ultra Color Max DTF relaunch. Everybody was sort of pre-warned on our email newsletter first. So definitely get on board with that. Offers, videos, podcasts, so many things that we do as well. So get signed on to that. And if you have any more questions, do get in touch with us and we'll do our best to answer them. Thanks for joining me, guys.